Hello and welcome to your biological sciences course. Um, I am Professor Febres, and this short video is to help you navigate the course, also for me to tell you some important details about this course. The first thing we need to actually, or I need to address, is the fact that this course, it is an 8-week course, which means that we need to get the material, we need to complete the material that we usually accomplish in one semester in 8 weeks. Therefore, um, you need to be aware that there's going to be two assessments due per week. Usually, I do one assessment in the regular semester, is one assessment per week, but because we have a shorter amount of time for the first 6 weeks, there's going to be two assessments due per week. One is going to be due on Wednesdays, and the other one is going to be due on Saturdays. What that means is that every Wednesday and Saturday you have an assessment due, whether it is a quiz or it could be an assessment. Um, so what you want to do is you want to go to your syllabus, which I emailed to you, but you can also find on this course. So you can actually access your syllabus from this right here, from this tab, or you can go on the site links over here. And if you click on it, um, you would actually, I recommend that you review, of course, your withdrawal deadline and everything I mentioned in my introductory video, but also use your syllabus to look at your schedule for what is due every week. If you notice, so week one, it starts on June 3rd, today. And so all you have to do on June 8th, which is Saturday, it'll be quiz number one. And also you need to make sure that you email me acknowledging that you read and understood the syllabus. Um, which means that you should start reading immediately chapter one, as quiz one has material from chapter one. One thing I want to tell you about assessments. These are, if you like to think about them, open book assessments. For quizzes, you have one whole week in order to complete the quiz. What you can do is you can actually gain access to the quiz as you go on your modules. You will see how this is organized. So you will see here that for week one, you have all of this, and so the last entry right here is the quiz. So what you may want to do is, if you gain access to the quiz, see, quiz is 15 questions, 30 points. It gives you the due date and time, which is June 8th by 11:59 p.m. If you actually click on it, once it's available, what you can do is print it or somehow set it aside on your desktop, and you can actually answer the questions while you actually look at your electronic book or ebook or whatever book you have for this course. And you can, and it'll help you answer the questions. So it'll be like an open book quiz. And then once you have completed, or you have actually answered all of the questions, you can then go ahead and submit. The quiz can remain open for all 7 days that is available. You can actually exit Canvas, and as long as you don't submit, it'll actually be fine. You can actually open Canvas the next day, continue to work on it. Two more questions. You can do one question per, per, per day, one question or two questions every day. And so that helps you basically use the book and answer the questions at the same time. So, and then once you complete, all you do is you submit. However, make sure you submit by the due date and time. If you don't submit by the due date and time, then it will actually be marked as a zero for that quiz. For exams, it's a little bit different. For exams, if you look, I mean, your first exam, I think is in here, week 2.5, actually week 2. And your first exam is going to be due on June 12th, meaning it will open uh, on June 9. Actually, uh, yeah, it'll open on June 9 and it'll be due on June 12. And so that exam is not like the quizzes. Once you click open the exam, you have 120 minutes to complete it, which is 2 hours. So for the exams, I recommend that you study the material. So just go to your syllabus, take a look at what material you need to review, study, and then you can open your exam. You can still use your book to help you answer some questions, but I am going to warn you right now, you will not have time to look for the answers of all of the questions in the book. So it is like if you were studying to take an exam in a face-to-face class. Um, the only difference is that in a face-to-face class, if you forget a couple of things, you don't have access to any resources to look for them. But in here, if you forget a couple of things, it's okay to go back to your book and try to find them. But once again, you will not be able to find the answers for all 50 questions. So this requires you to actually learn, study by studying the knowledge, by studying the content, I'm sorry, and make sure that you actually review it before you take the exam. Pretty much know where everything is so that if you forget something, you can quickly go back to your book and find it. Those are the two important things. If you want to be successful in this course, make sure that your quizzes, you can have it open for all 7 days that, oh, actually, my bad, this is not 7 days. This is actually from Sunday to Wednesday and then from Wednesday to Saturday. So I mentioned 7 days before. I apologize. I forgot this is an 8-week course. So all 3 or 4 days that are open, you can actually find the answers to the questions for quizzes, but for exams, you must study as you only have 2 hours to answer the questions on the exam. Um, Pretty much, though, I mean, this is actually your, if you guys go there, that's actually where your book will be accessible. You need to register with your access code, the one that you got on the bookstore, and so it'll give you access to the book. Also, there are some practice activities in there. I don't require that you do them, but for some of you, it may be useful to complete those practice students as activities, as it will give them more understanding on this subject. But once again, your best friend for this course is the syllabus. Stay on top of due dates and deadlines. Make sure that you complete the quizzes, the exams by the due date and or deadline. The exams, remember, you can open any day within the available period. Just remember that once you open them, you only have 2 hours. After those 2 hours, they will auto submit and it'll actually be graded with whatever you have answered. So I do recommend that you study. Last but not least, make sure that you participate on the um, uh, you actually participate on your discussion forums. The first one for week one is just the introduction right there. They're worth 20 points. Make sure you follow the instructions on them. Some of them will tell you that you need to reply to at least, I'm sorry, 2 classmates before you can consider it complete. Others, you will have to only reply to one classmate. And then last, for this course, no requirement. You are not required to come on campus to do anything. Your final exam is an essay. And so these are the instructions for writing the essay. And in order to actually get material for that essay, which is due the last day of this course, there is a final discussion forum, which if you look in here, it will be available for this is actually this date needs to be updated, but it should be available sometime by the 4th of July, maybe July 3rd, I think it is when it's going to be available, so that you can start to work on this essay. And once again, this is outdated. This is actually, of course, copy from the course from last spring, but I'm going to update this right now, make sure that it has the correct date when it will be available for you. As I mentioned on my previous video, if you guys have any questions or any concerns, do not hesitate to email me. That's the best way to communicate with me. Thank you for listening, and let's go ahead and learn some biology. Thanks.